So, hello again from the Midgard Black Ship. I thought I'd do another quick update just to make up for the last month of silence. I thought I'd do something a bit quick and different today and just give some kind of idea of way of life and in the sense of, or in the context of woodland management, sustainable and regenerative. So I want to nip out to the woodpile and show you visually basically what I consider to be a measure of firewood, because obviously my first concern is bringing the forests back in every situation, not just on our own site, and it's always what I would advise for everybody's future. I'm just trying to get over the giggles at the moment. I don't know if I should say anything, but no, I was just hacking down on a couple of old friends back in England who are slightly older than me. And yeah, I just got the reply back that I've got more wrinkles in my face than one of my friend's testicles, and I can't shake the imagery. Is that wrong? But anyway, I think I'll go and chop some wood and stay on the subject. I'm not sure I want to stay on the subject of wood now either, but anyway, this is the last wood now in the ship, so it's good timing. I'm on the last day of woodwork today for the bedroom on the west side there, around the window framing. So I may as well make the most of the morning and afternoon and chop up so I can fill up all the wood stores in the ship. Generally, I don't use firewood when there's nobody else here. My first concern, like I say, is always been the tree planting and care of, etc. So strategically, I've planted in the last 10 years 5,350 trees on site, and I aim for 10,000. That's also rooted to an old trauma, because I was at the Newbury bypass protest where they cut down and burnt about 10,000 old oak trees, like 600 years old, and burnt them in front of our eyes just for a new motorway. And I vowed that day, whenever I settled on a piece of land somewhere, then I would symbolically plant back what I couldn't help back then in 96. So they're not forgotten either, those trees and everything that was sacrificed during those years and the direct action protests. So yeah, I may as well go out. I'll shut that for now. Wood stores in the house, which are also a measure. There's in the dining room, it's full of tiles for the bathroom at the moment. There's another one, where are we? There in the corner, but also there behind the basket, and also for firewood and kindling in this corner, and a little pocket in there for kindling. But other than that, there's the eastern corridor entranceway down there, which we've had a big pile of wood in before. And what I want is that the ship can hold indoors a year in advance, a year's buffer of the firewood, so it can be extra dried and nice, and we'll never have a situation where we end up with wet wood. So that's the indoor supply. And what I'll do now is we're going through the western storeroom. That's the last earth floor in the ship. Hopefully the humidity will drop once I get that sealed this month. And out the western door here, which we don't often come out this side. On video anyway. But down here, designed into the ship's footprint, and unfortunately that I've left uncovered, is also a wood pile that is designed as the actual chopping area and a chopped firewood store area, which will be another year's supply next in line to move in. So it's a whole system and process through the zones out to the woodland areas that I've designed in here. And then behind me, just outside the Zone 2 circle here of the smallest ecological footprint experiment, my friend Mika has put up a wood drying store over this summer, which was quite urgent because what used to be a forest behind it, well, there's still some trees, but you can see on this side it's almost empty now, as we had some quite vicious storms. Like I said in an earlier video, the neighbours clear-cut their forest on the other side of the hill because it had bark-boring beetles in there. So to preserve the life and put in a new plantation of spruce, which isn't the best thing ever, monoculture again, which will lead to the same problem. It's like a a buffet served up of one species of food for one species of beetle. So it's going to happen again. But anyway, within weeks we got massive storms that normally we're protected from on that side, which just whooshed through and just rootwelt it's called, trees blown over, roots and all. And we've had to have a few sessions this year breaking down that wood so it's not wasted basically. So we've got we've got a quarter of it in, I would say. Some of the bigger ones are still lying out there. So we need someone with a chainsaw out here again for a couple of sessions. And thank you again to Matthias for the time he put in this year from his busy schedule. And what we have in here is like roughly a quarter of the volume of what's possible. So behind me here. And so what I want to say about measurements and consumption, where are we? Is this would last me, if I was living on my own at the ship, this would actually last me about 2 full winters at least. But I think with 2 or more people who are cooking 2 or 3 times a day, then it'll last the winter anyway. We can be sure of that. There's more down here. But I think the capacity that my friend Mika has built here, there's actually enough space for about 5 winters or 5 years of cooking firewood. So that's what we aim to do, is gradually fill this up. So we know where the dry stuff is here. We can start chopping. Oh, we, it's me always. I can start chopping my way through this now. It's dry enough to use. And actually that is what I started with this morning until I got the wrinkle comment. Thanks, Phil. That's going to stay with me all day. And no, I don't normally think about you in that way. So yeah, I think that's all I wanted to say before I say anything stupid or vulgar. And I'm going to get on with this for a few hours and fill up those wood stores in the ship. Once I've got that far, then I guess I'll put this on hold and spend the rest of the evening finishing the bedroom woodwork. Well, there's actually a day of woodwork that will be left after that, but it can't be done until I've put in a couple of weeks of cement work, final plastering of tile walls and stuff like that. And the floors need sanding and oiled as well before the edges of the floors can be sealed and plastered up. So, yep, onwards, forever onwards. Yeah, that's the subject of how I see... Oh, I've got a tick on my hand. Ew. I really don't like those guys. But anyway, I'm sure they serve a purpose. But yeah, that's my views on the woodland situation anyway. The problem we have with every new generation now is sliding baseline syndrome and why nobody's reacting in time. And even the direct action networks I was part of in the 90s, trying to protect the last of England and Scotland's woodlands, even a lot of them have drifted now, and they didn't go proactive in woodland planting or anything. They've gone on to other things. And so really, we're in a dangerous situation ecologically speaking, because the trees and the fungi are actually regulators of the whole damn system, the whole the biosphere basically, the climate and everything. The carbon cycles, the water cycles, it's all connected through those guys. So I'm going to do my best to represent them here and try and pass on whatever information we can learn from the world's experts and our own experience, and then our own designs, essentially, how this all ends. But I want to start at the right end, which I did over the last 10 years, and like I said, I can aim to continue on doing more and more woodland. And when there's no more room here for trees, I'm going to impose myself on other people's lands and offer, because we'll have an ecological cradle here. We already have, that's self-seeding thousands of trees of about 10 different species every year. And that doesn't need to be about money. It could be about other trading services and things to help each other's projects. So I think we started at the right end. And now I can, with clean conscience, actually consume some of the wood after all these years of working on this project. So now we're in zone 3. We're in the communal footprint, basically, of a much larger clan or cooperative. We're outside the zone 2 footprint of the smallest footprint research area. So this is basically what it can look like. And for you too, if you want to try and mirror setup similar projects and things, make similar efforts where you are. And we can actually help with that as permaculture designers and consultants who are doubly professionally certificated. We can help you design your own home sites for any climate in the world. We understand the difference between species and functions within the natural community's relationships and the benefits it creates for all life. So in the name of all life and all our common futures, I'll bid you all a good day. And I'm going to get sweaty now. Like they say, chopping wood, you get warm twice. Doing the actual chopping and then taking it in and heating your home. And beyond that, our stove has a water mantle in there for hot water, and then you got cooking, obviously. And so there's a lot of point to this. So yeah, thanks, Phil. My mind keeps wandering back to our very brief contact there on Facebook. I owe you for that one. Yeah, have a good day out there and be kind to each other. Bye for now.